Get ready. Lave Radio.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, from Harry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
I spend so much time in my Imperial Trader. I find it really hard to meet people.
I mean, when do you get the time to go to bars when you're taking on courier jobs for the military?
But with VenusDating.com, it was so simple. I just put in my personal details and they found me my perfect match.
I really thought it would be difficult, but Venus Dating made it so simple, with so much in common.
We both like movies, walking along the beach at sunset,
browsing Imperial shipyards.
And of course, since we started dating, we've discovered that we both really love
shooting Thargoids.
Let your voyage begin with VenusDating.com. For every first encounter.
Hi, I'm Trent Stephen Findless Jr. and I'm here to tell all you pilots about a great new service. Take a listen to my friend, Pete.
My name is Pete and I'm a long distance haulier. I drive a Puma shipping farm machinery from Leasty to Saweo. I love my family and I don't mind being a hard-working blue-collar dad, but I'm tired of seeing my family grow old in front of my eyes. Every time I make the run there and back, I lose 15 days in hyperspace. My family is starting to notice that they're getting older and I'm not. My wife had a baby last week, did a week of shifts and now my kid's got teeth. I wish there was some way my family could get old at the same speed as me.
There is, Pete.
How?
By buying into my new service, Findless Cryogenics. We aim to put the freeze on the premature aging of your family. The process is simple.
Our unique family centres allow you to drop off your loved ones on the way to work. Simply hire the number of cryogenic pods you need and keep your family asleep while you fly among the stars. We ensure synchronicity with your flight patterns so they spend the same time awake that you spend in the cockpit.
And when you get home, bingo! Your family is the same age as you. Never lose family time in hyperspace again. We guarantee that you'll never miss another birthday, anniversary, or funeral.
Wow, Trent, that sounds great. Where do I sign?
Simply put your credit card details into our special webpage under the hashtag WeFreezeYourLove. We'll take care of the amounts, no need to worry about that.
It's so simple. I can't wait to keep my family in a secure block of ice. It's a weight off my mind.
Findless Cryogenics, now at your local spaceport.
Findless Cryogenics, because the family that grows old together goes cold together.
Hey Commanders, this is Mick from Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. Due to a hysterical ordering mishap and not reading the fine print, I'm currently in possession of over 10,000 snakes. Many of which are deadly, so everything must go. We have anacondas, asps, cobras, diamondbacks, furtlants, keelback, kraits, mambas, pythons, sidewinders and vipers, none of which are capable of spaceflight without being strapped to a rocket. Need a pet for your cockpit? Buy a snake. Need to scare your mother-in-law and give her a heart attack for the insurance money? Buy a snake. Need to fill a beluga full of snakes to assassinate a witness on their way to a Federation courthouse? Buy many snakes. Bulk discounts are available at Crazy Mix Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. You can find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us at the former site of Sensible Michael's Shipyard and Outfitting Warehouse. Will somebody get these mother snakes out of my mother warehouse?
sometimes you don't want all the bells and whistles, you just want a ship that will get the job done fast. Vulcan de Lacy present to you the Python, a multi-purpose ship that offers the enticing balance of manoeuvrability, firepower and all the compartments you need for mining or hauling. Because any mission, any system, any station, it will do. No matter what you throw at it, because whatever you want to do, it will do it for you.
and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
Community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from a car in the Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 476 of Lave Radio, the show that talks about the universe elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, otherwise known as Colin Ford. And joining me at the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we welcome back our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Ed Levice, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
You had to do that as I was grinding my beans, didn't you?
Whatever you do in the privacy of your own time is up to you. We also have our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
I'm free. I've escaped planet Kume. Ha ha!
Excellent. We also have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychit, otherwise known as Claire.
Hello.
Hello. And we do have the wonderful Chris Mark IV on tech today, so yes. I don't know what else to say to that. Right, anyway, if you wish to join us live, we are hanging out in-game. It's a case of find aid.
Yeah. That might be a little bit awkward unless Chris actually shows where I am, shows my screen.
Yeah, well, you suck, so, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Hey, I swallow as well, Claire, for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah, that's a very valid point.
You know, at least
people don't even need to buy you a drink. Okay.
Wow, that's what 2 minutes 20 time. Did someone time mark that? Because that's a new record, I think. Normally we at least hit 5 minutes, but no, not today.
Hey, I've been off for a week. You know, I'm only going to last a couple of minutes, Colin.
You poor wife. Anyway, moving on from there. If you can't get to Ben, or if you can't get to us in game, you can join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook and X, Twitter, thingamy-bob. Right, let's quickly go around the teams, see how they have been. So, I'm very curious, Psychic. Have you got to the Citadel DLC yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Good.
I have a story. I have story time. Buckle in, fuckers. Mass Effect is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful game, and I adore it beyond all. It is current. Like, you know how much I love Baldur's Gate. You know how much I love that game. I may have talked about it a little tiny bit on this stream and on all other streams. I may have mentioned it. The Mass Effect trilogy is the best game I've ever played. And I say that without hyperbole or without regret or anything along those lines. It is the best game I've ever played. It is phenomenal and wonderful, and thinking about it makes me emotional. I have a problem with Mass Effect 3 so far. So I'm going to, this is going to be an if you know, you know kind of situation. Yes. But I was doing a mission that I've got two issues. I was doing a mission and I discovered that I couldn't progress any further in said mission because the character I was supposed to meet wouldn't spawn because I'd done another mission and it put people in his spot. And I was like, that's really fucking annoying because that's really going to affect a few bits. Second part, I have been spoiled for the tiniest bit of the Citadel DLC, because when you talk about things and you have 4 different microphones pointing at you, the internet picks up what you're saying and alters the algorithm. So as I'm scrolling through TikTok, and I'm on Mass Effect TikTok now, and that's a wonderful place to be, I don't want to leave it, but I see something from the Citadel DLC, which is a conversation between the love of my life, Garrus Vakarian, and another character. And I was like, I'm really looking forward to having more of these sort of conversations between these two characters. And it's the one character who I made a decision to not make him, an RP decision, which made him not loyal in Mass Effect 2. So when I found this character in Mass Effect 3 and he just fucking died on the floor in front of me without me even having an option to try and save him, I was viscerally upset.
I see.
To the extent that I briefly considered completely replaying Mass Effect 2 and following everything that I did and picking the Paragon option as opposed to the normal option where I'm just like, my guy, chill, rather than, my guy, you did the right thing, I'm a Paragon, now you're loyal to me. Because it would change nothing else in the game. I knew it would change nothing else in the game because this character is a DLC character and you cannot have them in the game at all and it doesn't make a difference. And I was like really, really confident that that was the case. And I was 40 minutes of time passed where I was thinking about trying to decide whether or not I want more
guilty of this character.
whether or not I was going to go and replay the entire game because of this. And a brand new person in chat as we were talking went, well, why don't you just download the save file mod and just like edit the save file to make him loyal in Mass Effect 2 and then he'll be fine. And I was like, there's no fucking way that I can just do that. Long story short, he's now loyal and it's fine. But what I've also done is I've gone, you know what, fuck it. It's not my fault that this character won't spawn anymore. So just mark that mission as complete as well. And I'm not doing any more modding to that game or any more changing to that save file because I'm happy now. But it was so like, I was so like upset and like viscerally moved by it. And I am a person who got to the Iron Throne in Baldur's Gate and went, oh, I'm not super keen on a couple of things that's happened. Instead of going back a little bit, I will wipe my entire save. So I did. I did that in Baldur's Gate, and that was 46 hours in. So I wasn't worried about maybe having to replay the game, but I'm glad I didn't, and I'm very grateful for this like little exe file that I can just open up and edit the save. But I'm going to try not to do it anymore. I've done it. I've done it those 2 times, and I don't want to do it anymore. But very, very relieved that this one person who was brand new in chat said that to me, and I was just like, you have saved me 40 hours of meticulously following exactly what I did in Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 with the exception of just choosing one different option to get there. So yeah, I'm really pleased by that. But yeah, other than that, thank you for bearing with me on that story time moment. Other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Elite. I finished Little Guardsman, which is a game we talked about when we were talking about narrative games and stuff. Little Guardsman is like a cross between Monkey Island and Papers, Please, with a bit of D&D thrown in. And that is a really cool game. Highly recommend checking that out. But the weather's been miserable, so I haven't really been up to much sort of like outside of being sat on my computer and doing stuff.
Excellent. Well, to tell you the truth, it's good to hear that you're getting through Mass Effect. You know, it's actually really nice to hear someone really enjoying it. It'll be interesting to see what your opinion is of the end.
I guarantee you, I will be devastated. I don't even know what the results are. I'm making a mental note to continue to hydrate because
Yes.
when I cured the genophage, I couldn't see because it hurt my eyes so much to cry. So I need to be more hydrated. It's a sad moment and I don't want to talk about it and I'm not ready to talk about it yet.
Takes a while. Anyway.
Yeah, it does.
Moving on to Alec Turner.
Wow, hello. Yeah, I've never played Mass Effect either.
So good, Alec. Holy shit.
Yeah. The funny thing is, okay, and I whenever I have a quick, I think, oh, what's it doesn't even need to be a Mass Effect, but in this case it is, and I'll sort of go on YouTube and go, oh, show me a quick bit of gameplay. So what's this gameplay like? You know, what's this game like? And a quick glance at Mass Effect, my takeaway impression is, oh, this is just a cutscene game. I'm not into cutscene games. That looks really dull, and I just don't bother with it at all. And I'm clearly missing out because I hear it's very good, but it just looks like a load of cutscenes whenever I watch somebody play it.
It is a lot of cutscenes. It is a lot of cutscenes. It really is. But
Yeah.
I think the characters are just so engaging and immersive that the gameplay. I find the gameplay really fun because I love sniping. In like first person shooter sniping, and it like even with my shaky hands and my
Yeah, I like sniping. You mentioned sniping last week, and that did get my
yeah.
attention. It's like, oh, okay, it's not all cutscenes. That's interesting. You can snipe. That sounds good.
Yeah, the infiltrator is a really fun build, and I've been really enjoying that. I still feel like a complete noob as far as like RPGs are concerned, and I follow guides all the time to give
Yeah.
me like good builds and show me the best way to go about doing stuff. But I'm having so much fun.
Does anyone remember? You'd have to be of a certain age to remember this, but in the video game arcades, like when Space Invaders and all that lot first came out, and you used to go to the local arcade and play them.
Yeah.
There was a game that came out a few years in, and it was like a laser disc game of like you were. It was a sword and sorcery thing, and you were on
Dragon Slayer.
horseback. What was it called?
Dragon Slayer.
Maybe, yeah, and you had to hit a button and get the timing just right, and it was basically a cutscene game.
Yeah, that's Dirk the Daring, and it was done by
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Don Bluth, who was a Disney animator. So it's Disney quality animation, but it is QuickTime events all the way through.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah,
and if you didn't know I think it took me about this is 30 quid back then, because I think it was something like 50p a play, which was quite a lot.
Yeah, and it was quite quick. You didn't get a very long go if you weren't very good, did you?
No, but yeah, these days everybody be looking at Daphne the Princess going, she's hardly wearing anything. That's supposed to be for a kid's game.
Anyway, that's a trip down memory lane.
Yes, sorry about that.
I went to it's really isn't that exciting. I'm clutching at straws of things to talk about, but I went to the dump, and you know, we're continuing our sort of clear out of
We got
stuff.
Alec of the dump.
Yeah, Alec of the dump. So I had two big plastic boxes full of sort of kind of old tech, like cables and adapters, and I don't know, like Google Chromes that I'm not using, all sorts of miscellaneous junk. And I thought, right, I'm going to get this down to one box. So I ended up chucking out cables. I don't know about other people, but I'm a bit of a cable hoarder.
Oh god, yeah.
But it's been so long now, and I looked at these, and I had reels and reels of coax aerial cable and VGA cables and SCART cables, and I was just thinking, I'm seriously never going to use any of this shit ever again in my life. The world has moved on from coax, VGA, and SCART. So it was quite liberating to take piles and piles and piles of cable and just toss it in a skip.
Yeah, I must admit, I've discovered a SCART cable I need to get rid of.
Yeah, Epiphus. Did I need the cable the day after? Yeah, I was dreading that. I did not need the cable the day after, but you never know.
That's the curse of the mandrel, that is.
Yeah.
As soon as you empty something from the mandrel, the next day, Dad, do you happen to have a cable from 1995 that will connect
just
the printer?
threw it in a skip.
Can I ask a question? Why would you need? What is the situation that would require you to need those cables now?
The ones I threw.
Yeah, if there
it's inconceivable. I mean, yeah, that's why I threw them. I thought, yeah, honestly.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're good then. We're good. It's all shiny. Cool.
I mean, I did keep stuff. I kept like things like a little bit of internet cable, and I kept a little bit of HDMI cable, and because you never know when you're going to want a bit of HDMI cable, right?
No, I mean that feels justified because that's still something that we use sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
But like, I can't remember the last time I looked at a VGA cable.
No, I dug it out and thought, yeah, I really don't need that anymore. In game, I have managed to tear myself away from Planet Kume. Listeners may remember that I psychologically trapped myself there by vowing to do this stupid time trial in 25 minutes. I admit defeat. I can't. I probably have a 25-minute run in me, but I just couldn't string it together. So Skur reigns supreme on 20 minutes. I managed 28 minutes and decided that was good enough, and I had to walk away for the sake of my sanity. So then I logged back into Odyssey, which I haven't been in for nearly a month, probably. and went through the usual depression again, I'm afraid, of all the horrible, nasty shadows and lack of anti-aliasing and sluggish frame rates and anyway, but I got over it because that's the game, that's the live game, that's where the action is. So back into Odyssey, and what I did is I took myself off on a exobiology exploration trip. So I've gone not super far, but I've gone about 1700. Do I mean 1700 KLY? That sounds like a lot. 1.7 KLY. I don't know. You know what I mean. Hopefully, more than 500, like nearly 2,000 light years.
A distance.
A distance, a reasonable but not stupid distance to find myself some first discovered exobiology.
Sounds like 1.7 Kylie's.
Yeah, sounds about right. And I mean, so I sort of went, deliberately not on a straight line to anywhere. So no nebulas, just picked a random direction and go down a little bit as well. So it's just a random angle, and it's interesting. So 1.7 KLY out. I am still hitting about 50% of the systems I hit have been discovered, and 50% are first discovered. And I'm sort of doing the thing of switching to economic routing so that I'm, jumping very small. So I'm visiting every star almost as I jump around. It's interesting just how much of fairly random space, a moderate distance out, has still been discovered. What's good though for exobiology actually is the stuff that's been previously discovered. So you do the honk and then you open the system map and the planets are all there already, all rendered, so you know that the system has been visited before. What's nice is that you can at a glance then target any landable atmospherics and then just point the FSS at those to see if there's any biological samples. And 100% of these systems that have been discovered, when I've gone to actually look at biologicals, I am first footfall. So these are, hundreds of thousands of systems that have been discovered in the first 5 years of Elite prior to Odyssey or whatever it was. But nobody's actually been back to scan biologicals on these. So it's great. So you jump in, the system's already there, you can see the landable atmospherics, point the FSS at them, and if they've got biologicals, off you go. So it's quite profitable, I think.
Oh, it's very profitable. I always go for biologicals with more than one. I don't go if it's just one by itself. I don't bother with it.
Here's the thing. So I was chatting to somebody in Discord while I was doing this, and I just scanned the system, and there were some ones, and I was like, right, I'm off because those are going to be, uninteresting
Biologicals,
bacteria,
bacteriums. Yep.
And they pointed out to me, oh no, what's it called? Something Stratum tectorium, which also comes in ones and is incredibly valuable.
Yeah, that's the most, and it's the easiest to spot, to be honest.
Yeah. So what I've been using, which is bloody brilliant actually, is within Elite Observatory, which is a third-party tool, there's a plugin called BioInsights, and it's quite clever. So what it does is when you finish your FSS scan of the system, it uses statistical analysis of everything that's been found up to now. So based on the star type and the planet type and the distance of the planet from the star and its temperature and all that sort of stuff, it basically guesses what sort of biologicals you're likely to find on each of those planets.
So
And
it kind of reverse engineers the algorithm then.
And it's really accurate. It's really accurate. So so basically what will happen is if suppose there's 4 biological specimens on a planet, this BioInsights thing might give you a list of 7. And then as you take a sample, for example, maybe one of them will get crossed out because it's like, well, if you found one of those, then you're definitely not going to find one of these. And but generally, of the sort of, I would sort of say, I'd say 75% of the samples it says after the FSS are exactly what you end up finding. So it's great for deciding whether to bother with those 1 biological samples that are 10,000 light seconds away. If BioInsight says they're bacteria, it's not worth bothering. Yeah, it's been good. I don't know how much money I'll have when I come back. I
Oh,
vaguely thought.
please.
We'll see. I vaguely thought my plan was I'm about 2 billion short of maybe getting myself a fleet carrier. So I thought, oh, what the hell? Let's go and do this. But I am now getting pulled back by something we will come to in Community Corner in a minute. So I'm going to have to cut my trip short, I think. Anyway, that's been me. Yeah.
Excellent. Right. Well, we'll pop over to Ben because Ben's not been about for a couple of weeks because you're too busy trying to open the pod bay doors last week.
That is a trippy as hell film.
Oh, the last 10 minutes, yeah.
The first half hour as well. You know, that whole the first, like, I mean, what other film would open up with about 3 minutes of pure black screen, then another 3 or 4 minutes of black screen and weird screaming noises. And then eventually you start. Then you go on to the eight men thing.
So, if you hadn't guessed already, Ben went to see 2001 in the big screen last week. So,
but it was great. I loved it. I wish I was on acid at the time. But what was absolutely lovely to see was there were more people in the cinema to watch a film from 1968 than there were to see a film like an opening night Marvel film. Yeah, that was amazing. And what was doubly amazing was they weren't all 40-year-old single blokes.
Oh.
There were so many.
There were some 50-year-olds there as well.
There were so many college-age kids. There were so many, people there with their own children. Like, it was like a dad and his son, or dad and his daughter. There were sort of couples who were there as well, and there was such a lovely wide variety in the audience. And then I wound up actually getting a bus back with these two college kids who had never seen it. And I was standing in the bus stop, and then they were talking about it, and then I was just listening into their conversation, and I had to interject because I had to.
Yep.
And just asked, I was like, right, so that was your first time seeing it. What did you think? Have you read the book? And then one of them was like, "Oh my, it's a book as well." Yep. It was really interesting hearing. They'd heard about it. They knew it was a classic film, but they didn't know much else about it. It was lovely hearing their open conversation about it. So yeah, that really made my day, made my week, whatever. Then I've not done a heck of a lot of games, but I've done. Oh, on Thursday or Friday, I noticed that there was a free game called Doki Doki Literature Club. No.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, not that
It's
one.
called Doki Doki Literature Club. You're right.
Yeah.
And it was something that I'd seen on Game Theory.
Yep.
And I like a lot of the Game Theory stuff. And I was aware that he'd done something about it. But I was like, okay, I know he does stuff about Five Nights at Freddy's and things like that. But I was just like, I was like, okay, it's a dating sim. And I was just like, yeah, no. But then I was like, Sonic,
it's not,
free.
Ben. Ben, that's not fair to call it that.
I know it's not. I know that now.
Did you go in blind? Did you feel?
I went in blind.
Holy shit. Okay, I get it.
I went into it blind. The only reason I even picked it up for free was because I knew that Game Theory had done it.
Mhm.
And I know he only does, I know they do things that have at least got decent lore and decent story.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'll try it for free. And
yeah, I picked it up as well.
That game's fucked up.
I know
it's
about
amazing.
it. I know what happens in it. So I picked it up and I'm terrified.
Oh, yeah, I did sell my soul for a cupcake.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, Ben? Who of us wouldn't?
Yeah, it's a bit funny when you first of all hear about that game from Yahtzee Croshaw. It's,
I don't know what
so,
I
yeah.
don't know what Yahtzee said about it, but
Oh yes, well,
Um,
go. I would say go look it up, but it's still attached to the Escapist, so
Yeah, so don't.
Yeah, so
Oh,
fuck
don't.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say it's free if you
Is it
are.
still free at the moment?
I believe it'll be free. Yeah, it's free this week, so it'll be free till Thursday.
Okay.
If you are emotionally stable and able to
2024, Ben.
No, nobody's emotionally stable. Yeah, if you're emotionally stable and you like games that will, holy, what the fuck just happened to you? It's well worth a couple of hours of your life. And if you want to go more than a couple of hours, you do. Jesus Christ, you can go so many more than a couple of hours. It's definitely the kind of game that lends itself to starting over.
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I played that for, I think probably played that for a few hours, and I managed to finish Starfield. Because, and you know, I know Cy was on about, you know, changing the game for the better, and Starfield's another of those games. The only way I was able to finish it was by changing some of the stuff, because the default UI is fucking atrocious, frankly. You know, things pop up in the middle, the screen's too small, the menus are too big, there's a whole building mechanic where you're meant to be building your base, and you can't chuff it. You know, you rotate things, and the way you rotate it by default is using your left and right click. But can you rotate it so that everything's like aligned? Can you heckers like? It looks drunk. You know, when you're doing it by default, it looks drunker than a drunkman putting things up. It's it's atrocious. And there are so many atrocious things in that game. In the UI, it's just ugh. But thankfully, mods can sort us out, so that's okay. But you know, the storyline itself was okay. It's nowhere near as engaging as Baldur's Gate.
Well, the main reason I was going to ask you is, well, obviously because you missed out on all the shenanigans from last week.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get your reaction this time for the announcements.
Oh, and update 18 and things.
Yes. So first of all, I've got a little list to go through.
Okay.
Same as yesterday, last week rather. Okay. So what do you think of the new ships?
Okay, Python Mark II. It looks nice. It looks very, very nice. I'll be interested to see how it differs from the Python Mark. Well, the current Python.
It says
why
it's
it's a Python
different?
Yeah, why do we have a Python Mark II and not a? Why is it a Python Mark II and not a new ship name? You know, that's intriguing. Because you know, like, yeah, I'm intrigued by that. But it looks damn nice. I'll just be interested to see what it's like as a day-to-day runner kind of thing. And it'll be interesting to see, because I know they said that all of the ships are variations on current ones rather than, say, getting a Merlin.
Yes. Well, you wouldn't want a Merlin anyway.
You might. Hey, I want a planetary shuttle.
Oh, just why? What a waste of development time that would be.
Now, I have a very valid reason for wanting a planetary shuttle. Oh, I want a spaceship without a frameshift drive, and the reason why I want it is actually tied into Crime and Punishment, because
yeah, you want the Asbo Sidewinder, but
I
without
want
a frameshift drive.
You know, the Asbo Sidewinder, so you can send people out in the Asbo Sidewinder doing their crime and punishment, serving their time, but they can't. You're still doing what you do in Elite. You're playing. You're flying a spaceship and you're doing things.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna get away because you need a fleet carrier or something to take you there. Yeah, and I really, really wish. I've always wished we had that kind of behavior.
Yeah. Okay, so update 18, the end of the Titans.
The end of the Titans.
Yeah.
I will wait, and I'm waiting to see what that's like. I want to see the implementation. Is it going to be the deep core mining stuff? So we're going to essentially deep core mine a Titan, or how is it going to be? How is it going to be implemented? If it's implemented well and it's exciting and it's good, yay! If it's lazy, boo.
Okay, update 19 or Power Play 2.0. What do you think to that announcement?
That's nice. Yeah, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I'll wait and see. I'm not, as you know, I'm not the world's biggest fan of the Postman Patch Simulator.
Yeah.
I far prefer BGS mechanics.
Yeah, but the idea, I think, at this point, is that they're going to rip out the old gameplay completely and replace it with something else. So, no more Postman Pat Simulator.
So when we get it, it could be the next best thing since sliced bread, or it could just be lazy development. Again, we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, and then finally, what do you want update 20 to be? Because they said there's last update at the end of 2024. They are giving no details, but they say it's something brand new that's never been done on Elite before. What do you reckon?
What do I want it to be, or what do I think it's going to be?
Both.
Okay, I want, like I've said ever since we got Odyssey, I want to be running around my spaceship.
Yep.
I've always wanted it. I think it's a great way of Frontier monetizing things. I think there's a lot of potential gameplay in there. Let me run around my spaceship, and even more so, let me do EVAs. Like in the art book that we got for Elite, which we know is old and outdated, but there's a picture of somebody floating outside their spaceship, fixing it. I would love to be able to do that. I would far prefer that kind of gameplay and that kind of thing to do than have an AFMU. I think that would be so cool, especially because if it meant that we could then also go off and say switch off our power plant and repair that.
Yeah.
The auto field maintenance units.
Oh right, so you want to replace the with.
Yeah.
With
Why do I need an AFMU
torch?
if I've got my own welding torch and wrench?
Yeah, that's what. That's what it was. I thought you had an acronym for something else then, because that had FU in the end. It's got FU in. It's got FU in there,
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, so that's what I would like it to be.
And how do you feel about the fact that they've actually made an announcement? Because both me and Alec were thinking, well, they're going to end up announcing that update 18, and then they'll probably put it in the maintenance mode. I mean, are you surprised by what happened?
Am I surprised? You know what? I actually kind of am. I think it's good. I think it's a great thing that they've done that, because the thing that we've been dealing with is, well, we've got update 17 and we don't know what the hell's going off. And we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. At least now we know we're going to get update 18, 19, and 20.
Yep.
At least we know we've got about a year's worth of content.
Yeah.
At least ahead of us. So, it's not a dead game yet, mate.
Yeah, that lot will fill the year, won't it?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
So, that's a very good thing. And frankly, more commitment from Frontier saying, don't worry, guys, it ain't dead yet. We've got a year's worth of content planned out for you. It's probably a bloody good thing. And it's not something Frontier have really been very proactive at doing. everyone's sort of malaise in the past has been, yeah, we just, we've got this bug fix, and then we're not expecting nothing, and that can really make everybody just put everyone down, can't it?
Yeah. There is a level of communication that is needed with a live service game, and I do think that has been one of Frontier's weakest points.
Yeah. And it's always been one of Frontier's biggest points, frankly.
Yeah. And when people don't hear about that level of communication, that's when the doom starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Notice a lot of them have disappeared.
Did you also notice that, even though they can't complain about that, they're then complaining about, well, you only said it might come out.
Oh God, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
we've had that.
Yeah.
Or
Sometimes.
oh no, you haven't been grammatically correct with your press statement. Is it coming out before Christmas next year? Has it slipped already? Oh, for God's sake, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Fanart makes a good point in chat, actually, which I guess I have seen mentioned around it. It's a bit of news that has been out there. But yeah, Frontier have engaged a PR firm, haven't they?
The reason they've done that is because they made, I believe, almost all of the in-house PR redundant. So
Right. Okay.
the Dead Good Media, who who Frontier have outsourced their PR to, have hired Nathan, who was on the influence management team, and Anjali Mandalia, I want to say, Anjali Mandalia, who was one of Frontier's main PR people. So it's kind of like they're keeping it within the family, but it's just moved it to they're in a different company now.
So Frontier let their PR people go, hired an outside company who hired
Frontier people. Yeah,
brilliant.
No doubt for more money than they originally paid them.
Well, who knows? It must be the more viable situation, or the more viable plan for Frontier to be able to dip in and out and use the PR as and when they need it, rather than on a
full time.
Have them on the books full time. But then Dead Good Media have got Nathan, who is brilliant, and I haven't had as much to do with Anjali, but she what she'd been saying, everyone was super cool to see what she was doing. So that's really that's really good. It's really it's a real good thing if that's where they're looking to save the money from that sort of angle. I'm a big fan.
Excellent. Yeah, right. Well, that's good to hear. Right. Well, let's have a quick look at what I did this week, because we're still on the end of what we did this week. In Elite Dangerous, I have decided to go engineering mad. I have decided to take the orange Asbo Sidewinder, and I've decided to engineer it to something like crazy levels. So I went and took it to Palin. We've put the advanced thrusters on it. We've dirty drived the thrusters up to something to the maximum they can go, and we've now got an orange Sidewinder that does 390 meters a second without the afterburners and 550 with. So it still doesn't last very long in a conflict zone though, but it's still fun to fly. I'm now doing the same with an Eagle and seeing how much speed I can get out of that thing. So yeah, I'm actually discovering. I was asking earlier in the week about which was the ship builder app which was left.
Oh yeah,
it's Etsy, and that thing's fantastic. I mean, I used to work with Coriolis all the time, but Coriolis is no longer updated, and I noticed that all the ship stats seem to have changed a little since it was updated. So going through Etsy, and I've started mucking about with doing ship builds again. I've suddenly realized that my existing ship builds ain't that good, so it's about time to streamline them. And yes, and it's a wonderful tool, Etsy. I would thoroughly recommend it. And apart from that, well, it's a bit of power play, a bit of exploration, and a bit of flying around the Thargoid Spire sites at 550 meters a second, which is awesome. I'm trying to actually go underneath some of the canopies. It's trying to work out some kind of racing route for you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if we can work out a racing route that we can do whether the site's active or inactive, Alec, I think that would be a good one.
Yeah, I like it. You could do things like have to do a sort of little loop the loop around one of the landing pads, and then, or
Yeah,
I don't know.
You've got to start at this particular point. You've got to go under the first two big mega barnacles. You've got to then go around certain amounts of routes and then up and round Spire
Yeah,
3
I like
and
it. Yeah, you
Spire
can have
5.
good course around one of those places in a ship.
Yeah.
Small ship.
And if your small ship is fast enough, it's a laugh, especially in VR. So yes, that's what I've been doing this week. As there hasn't been any development news this week either, I think we'll just head straight over to the community news. And at this point here, I'll hand over to our community consultant. That'd be Alec Turner.
Community news. Yes, indeed. What have the community been up to this week? There's a fantastic new high wake video, an absolute gem, an absolute classic of a high wake video. I almost can't believe that I haven't, that he hasn't already done this one, but it's on the old engineering process and trying to get your little, bar to go to 100%. I assume we've all seen it.
I love threats of violence in cartoons.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah. There's a threat of violence as well. It's good.
Quick question, Alec. Has he changed his character art style in this one?
No, don't think so.
The pilot, the engineer,
looks different.
They look more human.
Oh,
than
actually,
they
no.
have
Now you mention
previously.
it. Yeah, now you mention it, I suppose. Yeah, it has a bit. It's tightened it up a bit and sharpened it up a bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
interesting.
I wasn't sure if it was just me or if it's it's like Mandela effects as to what his other characters looked like or what.
I literally just hovered over the thumbnail and I was suddenly struck by what you were saying and thought, actually, yeah, it does look a little bit.
Okay.
It's subtle. What else we got? Dituri's Elite it seems to be making one video a week, which is great actually. This was an interesting one because he so he's been very studiously avoiding anything like grind or and engineering and stuff like that. But he wanted to show people in the video how to get the pre-engineered FSD. So this is the one that's got double engineering on it. It's like long range but faster reboot, and the faster reboot makes it lighter weight, so it's even longer range or something. I can't remember, but it's the ultimate frame shift drive really. And it's a little bit tricky to get all the bits for, so he decided to make a video showing you how to get it. It's interesting that I can't remember which one it was, but there's one material. It's some sort of wake data. Yeah, can't remember. But he basically ends up sort of saying, I hate this. I absolutely hate that I'm going to have to do this. But the best way to get this is to go to Jameson's Cobra, get a load of, gather up all the materials and then relog and do it 20 times until you've got 100 and then go to Material Broker. And when Dituri does that, you kind of know that there's something a bit broken if that's the only way you can get this stupid thing. But it's good. It's usual Dituri Elite, great video, great little tutorial. It's a bit longer than the others because it's quite a lengthy process to get this FSD. It's about 7 minutes long, but it's good stuff. We have a trailer that I spotted just today. So fans of Spatula's Elite Dangerous sort of comedic videos, there's a brand new video coming out on the 22nd of February called Thunderdangus, and there's a trailer for Thunderdangus which has dropped now. And that looks like the usual Spatula nonsense and pretty funny. Sort of, he's done one of these already, but there's kind of a James Bond theme to it. So it's if you picture the usual James Bond opening credits sort of thing, it's a sort of Elite Dangerous, vaguely themed thing like that. It's good. Can't wait for that one. And the last thing I wanted to, actually one but last thing I wanted to shout out was Elite Dangerous have a brand new adventure that they released this week called The Echo of the Thetis. I think it features the vocal talents of Commander Wotherspoon. I'm sure I heard his voice in the background there. And what was really nice, I don't know if anyone saw this, but they actually sort of released this on Ninja Space Unicorn's birthday live stream. So 2 of the guys from Elite Dangerous were on the live stream with Ninja Space Unicorn talking about their work and about it. And then she played through the whole adventure. Looks fantastic. So that's the other thing I'm going to have to do when I get back to the bubble is give this one a go because it looks fantastic. And last but least, and this is the thing I'm abandoning my exobiology for, is in 2 weeks, I want to say now, just under 2 weeks' time, the next Elite Racers live in-game racing event is going to take place, 24th of February, back at Cayley Barracks and for Eridani, which is this lovely snowy starport on the surface of Cayley of for Eridani. This is going to be SRV racing, so I have to go and I'd absolutely have to be involved in this. And they have 2 types of racing. They're going to do some SRV cross events, which is a course sort of around the city. It's a nice little looping course around the roadways of the city. And they're going to have some heats, and then they're going to have a final. And I think they're going to try and run a team relay as well, which we've done in Elite Races before, where you have teams of 2 and you tag your teammate around the course. So that should be a bloody good laugh. And then there's also going to be a SRV rally event, which is a kind of point-to-point race across some of the terrain and countryside outside the city. We're going to do a few heats of that as well. And I guarantee it'll be a bloody good laugh, and we'll put a link in the show notes for that. That's on 24th of February. And that is this week's community news.
Community news.
I feel we need a new jingle now, don't
We
we?
do need a new jingle. We do need a new jingle. We'll take suggestions for community news. That would be great.
A new jingle.
Tracks if you're listening.
Excellent. Right, if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout out about it across the airwaves, just tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com. So, what has been happening with the in-game events this week? Well, there's only been a couple. On Thursday, the 8th of February, the Anti-Titan project was completed. This is the CG. Well, they acknowledged it was completed. It was actually completed about 5 days earlier. So the Anti-Titan project has been boosted by the Thargoid Spire materials. So well done, everybody. I hope you got your ship skins and things like that. I must admit, I've been seeing people flying about with a Challenger Pulse, and that looks quite cool. But yeah, hopefully we might see that in the store at some point for the rest of us. And then today, there's been catastrophic earthquakes that strike Ray 3. Now, this is, of course, Winter's home system, or President-elect Winters, and she's gone rushing off there to see what's happened to her family and try and help with the rescue efforts. And this has left that Hudson's still in charge. I've got a sneaking suspicion she won't be back till sometime, I don't know, mid this year, June, July maybe. Wonder why that would be. So, yeah, that's all there is. The Thargoid War has escalated again. The Thargoids are reasserting their dominance because, not as many people I think are defending the systems as they were. We have now got 45 alerts, 33 invasions. The number of controlled systems has jumped up to 446. There are still 7 systems in recovery. However, there's only been 1 alert and 4 invasions defended this week. So we're looking at almost 500 control systems next week, and already Maelstrom Tenaris, which had no control systems, has now got 2.
So, what you're saying, Colin, is we need some way to be able to defeat the Titans.
Something like that, yes.
Wow. Okay. Hopefully,
Before they start really swarming us again.
Yeah. Hopefully, we might get something in the coming weeks. Who knows? Who knows? If only someone had said something about it.
Yes. One thing that I did notice, though, is that as the Thargoids do retake controlled systems, the Spire sites do become active again. We thought as soon as they were disabled, that's it, they were gone. No, they do become active again. So, yeah, the number of inactive Spire sites are falling considerably at the moment.
Oh, that's
so,
good.
That's great news. So they do reactivate. That's fantastic.
Yes, they do. So, that's more. It's not lost gameplay anymore. So well, it wasn't lost anyway because you still got other
Yeah,
ones.
there was just slimmer pickings. Really cool.
Yes,
I like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where we are with the Thargoid War. We'll just have to wait and see how things unfold over the next couple of weeks, and yeah, we will take it from there. Right, what we're going to do is we will take a break, and then we'll come back with our main topic of discussion.
Oi, how you doing, my brother? So you run some data and you left your little sidey and you're starting to think about maybe a ship that can punch a little bit harder. Well, the Killback, the one with the little flappy wings, is just what the Doctor ordered. It is multi-crew enabled and is the smallest ship with a fighter bay, so you can point and they will do your bidding. Ha! It's got 3 utility mounts, 2 small and 2 medium hard points, plus a whole batch of compartments. So if you want a bit of fun, grab a Killback, my son.
Protecting settlements from villainous scum, it's Settlement Patrolman. The action figure every child wants. Wearing the all-new Manticore Dominator suit with light-up jump assist thrusters. Press his backpack to hear Settlement Patrolman speak.
Not seen you around here before, Commander. Is that a Karma P15 in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? Hey, don't point that at me.
When alarms sound, Settlement Patrolman rides into action in his surface reconnaissance vehicle with pop-up turret and glow-in-the-dark wheel trims. Settlement Patrolman. Surface reconnaissance vehicle and action figure sold separately. Available from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers. Microelectrode, ion battery, and circuit switch not included.
Dreams. Humanity's dreams. The hope to live among the stars. From early times, we've gazed up to the heavens and wondered if one day we could travel there. Maybe even live there. The Brewer Corporation has made this dream a reality. Constructing intricate cathedrals of metal, circling numerous planets across thousands of systems in our human bubble. Why stay rooted in a gravity well when you can be free in orbit, free to dream, free to live, and one day to become a commander and be free to blaze your own trail? Brewer Corporation, the first step into the unknown. Come join us. Be free.
From the creators of luggage limpets and passenger lounge suitcase shuttles comes the latest revolution in passenger transportation. The passenger cannon. For centuries, circus performers have perfected the technique of being fired from a cannon. Paired with our new memory gel passenger pod impact absorption technology, you too can speed up disembarkation times from your liner by up to 250%. No longer be limited by pad sizes and excessive docking fees with the passenger cannon. But how does it all work? First, all passengers will be issued with a passenger pod inflation suit during transit. On approach to your passenger's destination, simply fill the inflation suit with our patented impact-absorbing memory gel. Then, once in a stable position in proximity to the destination, effortlessly slide them into the disembarkation chamber ready for launch. The passenger cannon is now available in both gimbaled and turreted varieties to make aiming elementary. Make your liner one of the top 1% in the galaxy. Buy a passenger cannon today. Warning, passenger cannon must not be operated on high-gravity planets or near geysers.
New from Azimuth Biotech, it's Tickle Me Thargoid. Tickle Me Thargoid is fun for all the family. Teach your little anti-Xeno commander the difference between an Orthrus and a Cyclops, a Basilisk and a Medusa.
Count the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Cyclops!
Teach them their weakness and how to exploit them.
Now rip out the hearts. One by one.
I don't want to.
Do it. Using the tool. Do it. Now stomp on its face. Smash its face in.
I've got them.
Tickle Me Thargoid, available now from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers.
And welcome back. I was just waiting for the Thargoid to die properly there. We have our question of the week that we asked for everybody's feedback. And yeah, the question of the week was, what do you think of Frontier Unlocked? So we've had a few responses. So I will start with Elvis Kremen, the legend that is Elvis Kremen. He says he loved the new format. While you only play Frontier after Frontier's catalog.
Elite out of Frontier's catalogue. You said Frontier out of Frontier's catalogue. That made no sense.
Sorry, I'm getting, yeah.
It's all right. That's what I'm here for, to make sure that we correct everyone and we can just sort it out in the edit. Isn't that right, Chris? I'm joking.
As soon as I said that, Chris was there going, oh God, not another one. Right. While I only play Elite out of Frontier's catalogue, Arf and Holly were amazing on the stream together. Oh, boys, have Commanders got a great year of content coming. So excited to see what the other 3 variants are that we're getting, and a brand new feature.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Is he just giving me the middle finger in the chat?
No, yeah, no. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
I think it's his joystick.
Yeah, probably his joystick. Probably that.
Okay, fair enough. If
probably that.
he wants to demonstrate his joystick, then that's fine.
I think it's his joystick.
No.
For a visual gag, for anyone on the podcast, he's typing.
Yeah, he's made a middle finger out of
pipe.
ASCII. That's basically what it is.
It's comma, pipe, comma.
Wow.
Just to make sure that everybody knew Ben. Thanks, right?
Thanks, Ben.
The podcast listeners might not know what he did.
Incredible. Yeah, cool. Yeah, agreed entirely. Wait, Commander Andrew Johnson got in touch as well and said, nice to see some of the other games that I wouldn't usually see. To be honest, the Elite stuff was a lot more in depth than I expected, with this year's plan clearly set out, which I think is a really cool thing, that people were seeing games maybe that they wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, I thought it was good too.
Yeah, I must admit, I never really clicked with Planet Zoo, but actually after seeing it, I was tempted, and then there was a Steam sale this week, and Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core was on sale. So okay, that's me.
I've got a comment from George Hatt, who says, I've not played Elite in over 6 months due to burnout with the game, among other things. The news about new ships, new features, and power play rework has got me looking forward to getting back into Elite once again. Brackets provided I get over my current Baldur's Gate obsession.
Baldur's Gate, what's that, Jeannie? You're gonna have to let me know, mate. We'll have to talk about it at length, bud. It's all I see when I open Steam. Guaranteed, the only other person that I see playing Baldur's Gate at the moment, at the times that I fucking play, is Genie. It's great. Yeah, I like the fact I have seen people interested in coming back to Elite, and we've seen it with some content creators as well coming back and playing Elite 2, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm mentioning no names, but I've seen a few people in my friends list that are like, "Oh, you're playing Elite again, are you? That's interesting."
Look at you logging in. Oh yeah, I remember when you said that you weren't even going to pick it up ever again. I see you. You are seen. We can see you in that little friends list there.
No comment about certain people. Yeah.
No. We know when we don't. We're not going to name names, but we're just going to see them.
Splitters.
We see you. We know what you did.
Splitters.
Actually, oh.
Where's the popular Elite fan club? Oh, he's over there.
Lave Radio remembers.
You know, it was lovely till the day. I was playing another space game, and just a random person on that server was like, "Hang on, are you Edelweiss from Lave Radio?" Yes. We chatted at Frontier Expo. It was great. And then we spent about another half hour afterwards just talking about Elite in this other space game with lots of other commanders, and it was lovely.
Awesome.
And I was legitimately saying Elite's probably in the best place it's been for quite a few years now.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right, Ben, it's your bit.
Has Claire done hers? Not Claire, Alec.
Yeah.
I've done mine.
He's just done his, yeah. So it's Commander Zeb. It'll be more interesting to see how episode 2 goes. They were always going to give big Elite news for episode 1. Will we get Elite news at the same level each time? I suspect not. But it was a good start. Hoping Power Play 2 brings cohesive play with on-foot stuff as well.
100% agree on all of that.
Yeah, I would love to see PP2 with on-foot stuff as well. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, there might not be any Elite news in the next episode because they've announced the news. It's probably too soon to give us a deep dive on PP2.
Alex, for God's sake, don't say this is the only news we're going to get for the next year.
No.
But I mean,
what we
when
might
is it?
get?
2 weeks?
It's 2 weeks, so it's the end of February. So what we might get is a section dedicated to the new stuff that's out. Because the new stuff has just come out, but there's nothing to say that the following one, I would expect to see some in February. In March, I'm not expecting to see any Elite news. I'm hoping to see Planet Coaster 2 announced, but that's like my own personal fantasy, and that's never ever going to happen. But it's I'm not even in the hope, but I think I think it's important to say that. Not necessarily no news is good news, but if they don't have anything to say, they're not going to include it, and that's the point of the Frontier Unlocked. It certainly won't be under the Elite Dangerous category.
And I think also, and some Elite fans that were in the chat of that first stream should sort of brace for impact here. There are going to be episodes of Frontier Unlocked that are far more focused on other games than Elite. There's going to be times when there isn't much Elite news, and maybe there is a lot of Planet Coaster news or whatever, and that will have the big feature thing. And I'm absolutely fine with that. It's not like it's not like every episode of Frontier Unlocked is going to have a big thing on Elite because that's the best game they do. It's not.
But it is the best game they do.
Well, it is. We know that, but
okay. It's
No, I'm
arguably
joking.
not, and demonstratively not. But
So yeah, but
might be
you're right.
biased.
I've forgotten we've got update 18 coming really soon now. So yeah, they will
Really,
almost
really
certainly
soon,
do a
yeah.
little
2
feature on
weeks.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. So not this week, but next week we'll be able to discuss it. The week after.
Nah, it won't be coming out on that time. It'll be late. It'll be late. We won't even have had a moment to experience it. Yeah, we all know it. We all know it's coming out like on the Wednesday.
No, they'll delay it on purpose just to spite us. They will.
No, they don't give a shit about us. It's just coming out on the Wednesday. You know that. We all know that.
But yeah, I mean, Power Play 2, yes, I'm hoping that it does include everything from ship combat all the way down to even personal combat or even personal deliveries. We've got no idea what's in it. We can only hope that it is. I did say one thing that on the forums. I said that after the way that the Thargoid War has been handled. Now, I'm not on about the Glaive or the Orthrus, which are my two big sticking points, but the actual mechanics of how the Thargoid War works was really well done. It's very impressive how they managed to get the war to work in the background sim. And just the fact they've managed to do that has given me a lot more confidence that Power Play 2 will be far superior than Power Play 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems pretty likely they're going to work that in, doesn't it? You can see somebody going, hang on a minute, we could use this to do Power Play.
So, yeah. Well, as said, Power Play will be able to discuss when they give us more information. But I have Saphira here. Objectively, a solid format. An efficient way to present the news of all their games. Great idea, got nothing against it. Personally, I don't have much interest in the other games, so I'm probably not going to watch live. I'll only watch the elite part and the video on demand afterwards. So, yeah, that's... I think that's been kind of a theory for a lot of people, wasn't it? I think a lot of people just
I confess I've
in.
done that. I haven't watched the rest of the show.
That's great. That's great. Maybe everyone should feel like that. Maybe everyone should take that advice. Those people who only wanted to see certain bits of news, maybe they should have taken that advice.
I think a lot of people who actually tuned in for that was because this was the one where we were going to get the elite information.
It wasn't good timing for me. I mean, I like these things. I would gladly have watched the hour. It just wasn't on when I was free. And then, after the fact, there's not much point me, for example, watching a VOD of Planet Coaster stuff, because watching it live is fun because there's other people there and there's a bit of a vibe going on. But I'm not going to watch. Sorry, I'm not going to watch the other game stuff after the fact because I'm not that interested. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. We had Silas Vesey who said, I do miss the longer dedicated streams. We found the one. I personally preferred Ed Lewis's format of old. Oh no, I'm so sorry that you enjoyed that. But I'm just grateful that they're broadcasting something given the circumstances.
I mean, I can't take it back. I said similar last week. I like those old Ed streams. I'm not saying I like them better. They're obviously completely different, but yeah, I really enjoyed the old Ed Lewis streams too. So there's two of us, Silas Resi. Fear not.
See, the thing with the Ed streams was that there was a lot of content actually coming out at the time. The main problem with the streams after Ed left was it just coincided with a content drought. And I remember poor Stephen and Will, they were left trying to fill 2 hours of doing
they had some awkward streams,
nothing.
Didn't
The best thing about Ed's streams was his biscuit quiz on a Friday lunchtime.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad that we've missed out on not having that biscuit quiz anymore. That's
it
really
was amazing.
It was great.
Jesus,
it was just fun.
It's a different world that you guys lived in during that time. I watched that and I was like, oh my god.
It's only 5 years ago.
Ed resurrected his lunchtime quiz with his dad.
Good for him.
During COVID, and it was lovely.
I'm glad that you had a lovely time with it. It's just not my cup of tea, and that's also fine because I can choose not to watch.
We also had cups of tea because you had the donkey biscuits.
You know what? That's fine.
Unless you're Flanagan when he dunked it in a thing of warm water.
Great. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it so much. Just not my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Oh, it's me.
Paul Archer agrees. The biscuit review rocked.
Great, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Moving on.
We did.
Tala says, loved it, to be honest. While I didn't hate the old format, this way it felt like there was a lot of important and interesting stuff they got to talk about, and it felt less like they had a lot of dead air to try and fill. Yeah,
Love that,
as
Carla,
discussed. Yeah,
accurate.
2 hours when there's no news is every week. Was it 2 hours every week? Oh God. Yeah.
They
Anyway,
used to do it.
People would do that.
It used to do no, it wasn't that, but they used to do like an hour one time a week, and then in the same week they do 2 shows for like an hour and a bit.
yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
God, who would stream consistently over multiple days? That sounds ridiculous. While also doing another day job. I should clarify.
Oh, is it me?
I believe it's Colin.
Okay, we've got Caprica 14. It is 14. It's not XIV, is it?
I believe it. I would imagine it would be
Oh,
14.
don't start on the Roman numerals again. I've been discussing the Roman numerals in the Elite Racer Olympics title all week.
Those Romans, what have they done for us lately?
Oh, just right. Nice and sufficient is the comment. Straight to the point, as the other Frontier games do interest me. Would love to see the stream ending credits with stellar screenshots of the month, i.e. 40 to 50 slides, say 3 minutes. So sort of like playing the art gallery, Tony Hart art gallery music in the background.
Do the other games do anything equivalent to stellar
No.
screenshots? No.
The Planet Zoo used to share like Steam workshop pages of like workshop zoos that people had done or workshop builds, because that's more of a thing. They would occasionally share screenshots just like haphazardly. When people uploaded screenshots, they'd retweet them. It wasn't like we'll pick the best and send out stuff.
Yeah, okay. There's a great
Unless they were
forum
doing like a
thread for,
pride thing or something like that, you know.
There's a great forum thread for Jurassic World screenshots, actually, which sometimes look amazing. I was just thinking, yeah, it'd be quite funny to actually have a kind of slideshow where you deliberately alternate through all the different games. That would blow people's minds. It would be
I'm
like an
with you
Elite
there,
Dangerous screenshot, and then
Yeah,
and then
they'd have to have the logo in the bottom corner, and then people would still go, "Is this really dangerous?" That's what you sound like when you say shit like that.
Yeah, it would be lovely though seeing some kind of lovely zoo or lovely fluffy animal or whatever, or a snake, or a spaceship, or a coaster, and the builds you could do in Planet Coaster. I mean, the stuff you can build, and these games, all of these games, look bloody beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could actually
a
have
way to show this off would be nice, actually.
Yeah, so you have a picture of a Planet Zoo Cobra, and then obviously next picture will be a Cobra Mark III, and the next one will be a roller coaster that looks like a Cobra.
And then you'd have a T-Rex or something, or a Velociraptor.
And then there'd be the opening to the pits of hell, or some kind of thing from Warhammer. All of that kind of stuff.
Snake-headed people, yeah.
You know what? It wouldn't. I don't think that would be that bad. I think that would be really fun. I think that would be really fun. Just like showing off what people are doing in their games would be a really nice sort of
It'd
focus.
be nice
But then
do the end credits kind of thing or something.
Absolutely. But then that kind of thing does take a big chunk out of somebody's day, like curating all of that. And I don't know if you've noticed, but they've got rid of a lot of people.
Maybe they'd have to hire somebody to take it on.
You're gonna need a social media manager specifically just to do that each week, each month. But yeah, that's a relatively large undertaking to keep an eye on that and grab all of those, and then make sure that each one has got the game logo on as well. It's not as wonderful as it sounds, it's not a 5-minute job, and it would be constant as well, because you'll be picking them through. You'd have to like dip in and pick them throughout the month, because social media, where these things get posted nowadays, I'm looking at you, Elon. It is so fucky that you could lose it really quickly.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful idea, and I love the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had. Oh no, go ahead.
I was just wondering, actually. Chris Mark IV is talking about the F1 game. How pretty is F1?
It's all right. It is quite pretty. I think the only problem I've got with it is the crashes are crap.
Yeah. Yeah, the crashes are really bad.
Okay. They are incredibly, crap.
They were worse in the first game.
Oh my god.
There was so much. Yeah, they were worse than the first game, but they are crap still. One of the big selling points of F1 Manager 23 was that it was supposed to be a little bit more the crashes were supposed to be a little bit more engaging, and they were like, yeah, it's gonna be a lot better than just like running into a wall. And no, it's really not. It's really not. There's a lot of fundamental flaws that still exist within that game, and it's really frustrating because it has the potential to be great. But I just don't think. I don't know that Frontier are the right studio.
Wouldn't you love to see that in the patch notes? Better crashes.
I mean, who hasn't enjoyed crashing roller coasters, for example?
It's not the Cobra engine first and foremost, and obviously everyone has. You make a murder tunnel and then you kill all of the people. Those are normal things for normal humans.
It's just a regular thing to do, isn't it?
It's a regular thing that regular humans do, not ones with murder fantasies.
Well, people want,
100%.
people want to design a race car that decapitates the driver after.
I mean, no. No, because those are real people and not crazy avatars.
Oh, that'd be amazing though, having a tunnel that just like decapitate something.
No, we're not building racetracks in F1.
That would be amazing though.
Jesus. Wild.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's a right. Okay, Claire.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. We can move on. Happy Moon Monkey says that they are overjoyed at the Power Play update because existing Power Play is just a stalemate and doesn't fit with existing Elite mechanics. New ships are great. Increased new/old player engagement. 4 is brilliant. Now, just release one more a year in future years. I don't need them personally, but I recognise that they enhance many people's perception of the game. Very slick professional stream. Like the joint format, even if it just proves to Frontier how rabid Elite fans are. I wouldn't necessarily have used the word rabid, but that's fine.
No, I like rabbit. That's good. Oh, it's me, Ultra Snail. Unless we have anything. Yeah, no, it's good. Ultra Snail says, I am not convinced about the new format, but I'll sit through stuff I'm not interested in to get to the bit I am if I have to. Or you could just watch the VOD later. So it's not the best for me, but I totally get the concept and cross-marketingness. I can invent words like the best of them. All of the Elite news is excellent, however, inspires hope for the future, which is really all I could hope for. New ships are going to be great, not just for something to aspire to, but also for the whole immersion. I mean, are you imagining a world where we hadn't had a new car model in 5 to 6 years? Yeah, we keep coming back to that car model thing. There's an out wrong with loads of different types of car. Now, whether I'll end up flying the new ships much is all dependent on their characteristics. Hopefully they'll continue with the theme as they have. There is no one ship that is clearly the best. It all depends on balance and your own personal style. However, the new Python does look good. Here, it sure does.
Yeah, every time. I mean, I've been looking over the Python again. I still don't know where people have got 14 hard points from.
What?
I thought it was 13.
Oh, it was only 13.
I mean, either way.
Both of those numbers are stupid numbers. That can't be right.
It's definitely not right.
No, that's nonsense.
Funny though.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, maybe we'll save this for another time, but it is interesting thinking about the variants. I find myself thinking about what they could be variants of, and dismissing an awful lot of ships. You know, I sort of dismiss the crates because there's already 2. Do you know what I mean? And then there's the gunship, the dropship, and it won't be another variant of those because you've got 3 of those, and
it'll be a chieftain because of.
Well, we've already got 3 of those.
I've given up on the chieftain when he's still
a challenger, and we don't need another one of those.
But what about a big one? What about a big alliance ship?
Or
what, a variant of
Anaconda Mark II?
Yes, I was wondering about the Anaconda.
Well, not necessarily like the Anaconda Mark II, but I'm thinking like a chunky version of a chieftain, like a big version of a
Anaconda-sized chieftain.
On an Anaconda-sized chieftain that is reliant on you being you having a specific
like
rank
with
within the
the-
alliance.
Oh yes.
So what was the one that Chris said? Conqueror, like the Alliance Conqueror, something along those lines.
That wouldn't that be something of a departure for variants? It's like, aren't variants basically the same? I suppose it doesn't have to be, but it feels like it's the same basic. What would you
Shape.
call it? If it was a car, you'd say it's the same chassis, and then you stuck a different body on it, and it feels
I'm just
like.
going to say you've got the iPhone and the iPhone XL, etc.
I don't know that they could just
why
make
can't
a
you
bigger
have a
version
Chieftain
of another
XL?
ship. That seems like things would go wrong. Because surely with variants, they're trying to save work. So there's whole bits of the design of the ship that they're not having to redo, I assume, with variants. I assume it's a lot easier.
I don't know, because I mean, look, the Chieftain 2 looks very different.
The Python
Yeah,
looks,
the Python 2, sorry.
It looks not. It looks just enough like a Python to make it recognizable as a Python.
Yeah, okay. I hadn't really thought of it that way. Why do variants then rather than just brand new ships?
Because it's easier to do variants, to be honest.
There's only so many snake names in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Sharp's already on the chat rooms going the Adamark 2, Adamark 3. Please, go get help. You need it. I'm trying to actually engineer the adder that I've got. I'm trying to engineer it to make it decent, and I can't. It's just no. It's like driving the Mystery Machine with a smaller engine. Just no.
Shall I go on to Commander Nears?
Yes, before I start off on another rant.
Oh. Is this something you're wanting to say, Psychic, or are you?
No.
Okay. Commander Nears is saying, I'm feeling more optimistic about the game. New ships, even if variants, are amazing to get added, given how long it's been since the Mamba. Also power play getting some much needed love is too great. Sorry, 2 is great. The whole thing does make maintenance mode no longer seem just around the corner. I'm looking forward and hoping that they're able to hit their goals for this year for Elite. Yes.
Excellent. I mean, everybody's now coming up with new ship names. Oh, Air Hunter still wants the Panther Clipper, but no, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it is. We'll get it. We'll get it eventually. Not this year. We'll get it eventually. Probably the last thing that we get before the servers go down. We'll get it for a week. We'll get it for a week before they sunset the game, and they'll be like, "Well, you wanted it."
Stop moaning.
Anyway, yes. So I've got a little big in here. He says he enjoys the new format. I think with the current situation, it makes a lot of sense. The ED news was interesting. Looking forward to seeing more about the new ships. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a large alliance ship, which follows the design language of the Chieftain. What was that we were just saying?
Spooky.
Were people reading ahead?
No. I live with him, so we've had this conversation. That was the reason. That was the reason I brought it up, because we have had this conversation. Like he's him talking about the Conqueror just being, because it's another line of the another tank name, isn't it? Like another large tank name, so we can do that.
Oh, it'd be nice if we got something like a Scarab Mark II or a Scorpion Mark II.
I mean,
ships.
I'd love that. It did say ships.
Yeah. Just saying, I still want a speeder bike in game.
Everybody wants a speeder bike.
Who doesn't want a speeder bike?
I don't know.
I don't know that I do. I don't know that I've never really understood why people want a speeder bike.
Well, like a hover bike or something.
I want to reenact that scene from the Battle of Endor.
Yeah, you're going to need forests for that, though.
Yeah, I can live with that. Give me trees as well. I'm happy with that.
Mind you, because everyone's looking at the skimmers and thinking, well, if you replace the bit in the center with a cockpit,
that works for me. Give me a skimmer. Give me a skimmer that I can drive around in.
See, where I'm coming from, when I think about the kind of things I do in the SRV, flying any kind of hover vehicle or hover, it's just going to be so boring to drive, isn't
but
it?
this is you.
Yeah, this is you who flies more than anybody else.
Yeah, I know, I am biased there, but it's just
Yeah.
I don't see the challenge of flying a hover thing. It's just brrr,
That
so
works for
boring.
me.
Works for
Okay.
me, 100%. But
Well, you lot
also,
are weird. I'm off to watch
also,
biscuit
but you could
reviews with Ed Lewis.
probably also launch it as well.
Well, again, I mean, that's something I think we've all dreamed about, is being able to launch our SRVs without actually having to land.
Oh God,
dock,
yes, please.
guard.
Please
Yeah,
let us drop our
yeah.
SRVs from a hovering ship. How hard can it be? There, I've
You
said
Here
it.
we go.
Yeah,
Oh, where did we
agreed.
get? 9:56. Amazing. That's the latest time I think we've managed to get to.
Yeah,
Proud
so
of us all.
Alex wants to dump SRVs. I think.
I want to go heli skiing. I want to drop my SRV on top of mountains that you can't land on.
That'd be amazing. Or let me just jump out. I mean, we've got jetpacks. Let me do a halo jump.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what we're doing when we're doing the frontline solution stuff, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that. I would love that. So you could actually just drop people like.
Yeah.
Look, I can code it for
bombs.
you now. So where currently the
button.
deploy SRV button's disabled, you make it not disabled. When you click it, it just needs to go, are you sure you haven't landed? You hit yes, it drops it, and then the ship does its normal thing of dismissing itself off into orbit. Job done.
Would there be a height limit on that?
You
Because
could do. I think
I'd love to do it
probably
more
would.
bit.
I call that boring.
There
Yeah,
really doesn't need to
again,
be, but you could
yeah.
do if you wanted to be boring.
No, as Claire says, do it from orbit.
Oh, I've got an idea. How about this? If you can then start a game called Space Curling, where you're flying a ship along and you drop an SRV and it rolls along, and it's the closest person to the outpost wins.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
that
of
works.
course, other players can dive in and knock all the SRVs.
Knock the SRV out of the way.
Oh, I like the idea of those explosions. Those explosions
Yeah.
will be fun. Bombing settlements with SRV deployment.
Oh dear, yes. Right. Oh, Ben, I guess we're on to you then.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at the beginning of the show for us. Well, when you were asking me about us, but it's just something that the guys were talking about watching the whole stream, so they got their Elite Dangerous skin.
Uh-huh.
And I was just wondering, could you get like I don't know,
drops for different games?
Yeah, drops for other
Yeah,
games.
obviously you can have drops for other games.
Does Elite do that?
Does Frontier do that?
Yeah.
They've done it for they did it for when the Realms of Ruin release had drops. I don't know that they've ever done Twitch drops for Planet Zoo. I can't think of a time that they've ever done something like that. But there's nothing stopping them from doing it. Like you can do it for any game. All you have to do is have the contract written out with Twitch, and also providing that the creator that has those drops enabled, which is also part of like the thing that you sign up with Twitch, is playing that specific game. So that's the reason why Frontier Unlocked, despite having all of the games it was playing under the Elite category, was because they needed to have those drops enabled.
Does Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, etc. have, I don't know, like a albino tiger skin, or could it have that?
But potentially it could. There's no reason why they wouldn't, but I think they'd probably be more likely to do something like a specific hat,
skin, are we?
or a specific or like a specific balloon
NPC
that you could
hats.
an NPC hat, or a balloon, or a different piece of clothing that your in-game avatar could wear, something like that. That would be where I would lean towards with it doing, rather than a specific skin for an animal.
Mm-hmm.
It did do it for
that
F1.
That would work for both, wouldn't it? Would it?
I don't know.
Can Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster share assets?
I don't know. Planet Planet Coaster hasn't had an update for God knows how long. Come on, Planet Coaster 2. But I don't know.
Well, F1 had they had new suits that you could claim from Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the Las Vegas one, there was an Elvis suit, a bit like the one Max wore. You could claim the Elvis suit for your F1 team, which I think I've got them all. So it's just a bit bizarre.
Great. Twitch drops are great, and it's a great way to sort of raise engagement with creators and community and things that and things like that. Just it's just a really fun way to engage with stuff, and the way that Frontier do it with Elite, I think, is really cool. I'd love to see them do it with some of their other games. I'd love to see something in Planet Zoo, maybe Jurassic World as well. Jurassic World, you could definitely do dinosaur skins, like Jurassic World Evolution for sure. But I don't know whether it would be prudent to do animal skins, like for animals that actually exist nowadays.
You do get though, albino animals, for example.
I'm not entirely sure, to be completely honest. I don't know that they do. I think they have some variation in like the newborn skins and stuff, but I don't know that it is quite as in depth as occasionally there's an albino that's born like on a very
I don't know if they do
it would feel like a really, really strange,
Yeah.
Not straight. It would feel like a little tiny bit of a waste on the art team's time, given how rare those kind of circumstances are.
But
do you know what I mean?
Yes, but if it got like a bajillion people to buy and watch the stream, might it be worth it?
I don't know necessarily that would be the case, but for a hat or a different hat that people could buy from Hats Fantastic or something like that.
Oh yeah, purple hats or something like that.
Yeah, purple hat, a purple shirt. I know there's like a pink plaid or a plaid shirt that you can get, or a different shirt that you could do different colors on. I think that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. Be really interesting. But yeah, there's loads of different ways that you could implement it. I think there is a fee that you have to pay to Twitch to be able to get it. So it, like, Twitch never fucking, it's Amazon. It does nothing for free. But
I watched something horrendous actually about how much money say a 2-hour Twitch stream actually costs Twitch.
Yeah, they're hemorrhaging money.
Woo!
Keep watching us. Make him lose money.
Fuck you, Amazon.
Watch us on Twitch, man. Twitch.tv/Lave Radio. Do it. Cost them money.
Excellent. Well, that brings us to the end of the question of the week. A lot of responses there. Thanks to everybody who took their time out to respond. That's very nice of you. Very kind. Well, we actually have a mostly clueless thing, which came from Commander Turkarov. And I didn't know about this one. This one is up there with the night vision on when you lose your canopy. This one.
Except it's not a bug.
No, it's not. It's a genuine thing. So last night, he quotes, "Last night, an issue came up that reminded me of a well-hidden but useful feature in outfitting. This allows hard points to be deinstalled without the animation, as well as rapid deinstallation of a set of modules from your ship, all in one operation. This is possible using the stored multiple functionality in outfitting." So, in the outfitting main view, do not select any of the hard points or modules that you're uninstalling. At the bottom of the main view left-hand menu, select Stored Modules. At the bottom of the Stored Modules left-hand menu, select Store Multiple. You are then presented with a collapsed list of all the module checkboxes. Expand and select the modules that you wish to bulk store. You can then expand multiple categories and select modules from multiple categories simultaneously. You can then, with just one button, immediately uninstall all the selected modules without any of the animations. I wish I'd known that.
Sounds quite good. doesn't
last
it?
weekend.
I didn't know that. That's one I didn't know.
It's funny, I
Yeah.
did know it, but I've never used it. And hearing the description of how it works, it's like, ah, it's neat. I like that.
Yeah, the thing about this was is that as I was going through all my outfitting on Saturday, it was getting a bit tedious, you know, just flipping and everything in and out. And yeah, that would have been handy.
I think this is one of those features that got moved in the Odyssey, new user interface, and I'm not sure I would have gone to stored modules with the expectation of being able to take stuff off my ship.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. I'll have to have a look at that now.
So, we're just going to quickly move over to any other business. Claire.
Hey, completely, obviously nothing to do with Elite because why would I talk about anything to do with Elite in any other business? I am critically aware that I am coming to the end of Mass Effect, and I'm really, really enjoying story games. And games with an incredible story, preferably long form games or even short form games. Happy for either. I would love some recommendations for people for the next game that I can get my teeth into and cry over. Please, by all means do so and get in touch because I would really, really like that. I'd really like to know another game that is going to make me feel stuff and make me think, oh, this game is absolutely phenomenal and one of the greatest games that I've ever played, because I have not played a lot of RPGs or story games or things like that, and I have missed out, and I need to rectify that.
Final Fantasy 15, Final
Absolutely
Fantasy
the fuck not. Not a chance.
Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 8.
I might play when the Final Fantasy the next one, the one that the remastering thing that they're doing, when that comes out, that one I'm kind of half tempted by. Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, the whole remake.
Yeah.
It was the remake one. Have you played that one through?
No, of course I haven't. I've not played anything.
Right. Okay. Fair enough then. Yeah. I think in order to get the best experience, it's probably better to play that one first, and then move on to the other one. But
all right. Okay.
Yeah. You won't get the feels if you just played the other the one that's coming out in May.
Okay.
Just to let you know. But yeah, 15 broke me just as much as it broke as Mass Effect did.
Oh,
just
crikey.
saying. I wasn't expecting to. Final Fantasy 15 was my first Final Fantasy since 7, and I thought I wasn't going to like it. It was cheap. I got it on a sale on the on Steam, and almost 300 hours in that game. That's how good it was for me. I wasn't expecting it. That's my recommendation. But yeah, weird one. Right, we'll also mention a certain Chris Mark IV. He has a radio show at Black Diamond FM at 12 p.m. on a Sunday morning. Very useful to listen to when you're cooking someone's chicken dinner, but. And you might have some familiar names sending in suggestions for him to play.
No, it's really good. It's really good. I highly recommend that you watch it. He's a coward for not making it the whole 3 hours. It shouldn't be 2. It should be 3 hours of his time. And he knows that I feel this way about it. Coward. Coward, Chris.
Hold on, Chris's show's meant to be 3 hours and he only does 2.
Yeah, it's meant to be 3 hours. And he only does 2 hours. It's so slacking. I'm really disappointed in it.
Oh, yeah. What a slacker.
And
if you could, coward.
If you could send him some of the more obscure songs, the bet. I think he was searching for ages for the one that I requested. Dear. Anyway, so that's Chris. Top Shift will be returning next week. I'm doing a special Top Shift on what's been happening lately, and yes. Claire, obviously, you've got your schedule for your stream this week up and about somewhere.
Thursday
so, yes.
Elite, as always.
Excellent. Right. Is that it? Has anybody else got any other business they wanted to quickly discuss? No, apart from someone's cowardice.
Howard. Do 3 hours. You're lazy. Lazy on a Sunday afternoon.
Hang on. Is somebody having to pick up?
No.
So what? It's just like
The silence.
just dead air for an hour.
Silence for an hour.
The sound of a crisp packet rustling quietly in the background.
I am winding him up a lot. It's fine.
The pop of a champagne cork and then sounds of quiet sipping.
We got the audio. We've got radio of watching paint and dry.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Are we actually still on air? Because he's in charge of all the tech stuff today, and he can just cut us off.
Chris is just like, fuck it.
Just saying, guys. He stepped in at the last minute to cover Commander Ventura, and then all he's getting is a kind of grief.
Have you given Norman some love, actually?
Yeah. I think he's saying we're bleating on too much.
Quite.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do some shout-outs then. Our sister station, Hot and Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on Thursday from 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hot and Orbital Truckers, or just the audio is available at radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We'll also be giving shout-outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts, and that'll be the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well, and of course the wonderful Hillbilly Redneck Radio, the Loose Screws, over in the States. Now, following this, we also have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And yes, we've just got to say congratulations to those guys, because they've just passed 15,000 subscribers.
Incredible.
Yay.
So, round of applause to Witherspoon and Beetlejude, because, yeah, awesome.
Subscribe so they don't have to.
Yes. If you'd like to like and subscribe to Lave Radio, please feel free. Anyway.
Nah, don't risk it. It's the worst thing that happened.
Yeah.
Dear. Well, thanks to all those who've chipped in on the Twitch chat. And what in-game commanders have come your and Chris's way?
Nobody's come to find me and Sol.
We had Apathis joined us in the bar.
Oh, excellent. At least we had some. Chris is 100% more popular than Ben.
Statistics don't
never
lie.
any doubt.
Well, yeah.
So, of course, special thanks go to Commander Tokuso, Jay Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music for this show. So that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in home/contact us menu section of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Ben.
Thank you, Colin.
Thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Good night, all.
Thanks to Claire.
I'm a one-chorian woman, guys.
And of course, thanks to today's, and apologies to our tech specialist, the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
So until next time, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this?
Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. You need a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 13th of February, 3310. President-elect Felicia Winters has rushed back to her adopted home system of RIA following several major earthquakes this morning, leading commentators to suggest that the peaceful transfer of power may be delayed even further. The population of RIA 3 woke to a series of earthquakes across the northern continent this morning, with unconfirmed reports of chasms opening in the crust of the planet and many hundreds of buildings toppling. Tsunamis resulting from the shock waves and from a settling in the seabed has affected coastal regions in the continent and adjacent landmasses. From space, some of the resulting storm systems can clearly be seen. Federal Liberal Command, the governing faction, has declared an emergency and, with the assistance of other factions and Safeguard Interstellar, is establishing rescue camps. RIA 3's twin planet, Forsyth, is being used as a staging point, as is Ito Orbital. The damage is severe, and it may be some weeks before the death toll and the number of citizens displaced becomes clear, but it is likely to run into the millions. It seems likely that a relief appeal will be launched when it can be organised. Several dozen fleet carriers have gathered in the system in anticipation. Contact has been lost with members of President-elect Winters' family who have been living in New Greenacre. Winters has rushed back to the system, both to supervise the humanitarian effort and to organise the search for her missing family members. President Hudson has not made any comment on the tragedy, but if, as some have speculated, Winters remains preoccupied by the humanitarian demands in her home system, then he may benefit from an extension of his time in office. He had been due to hand over the levers of power this week, but it seems that Winters, who was briefly the acting president in 3301 after the disappearance of Starship One, may end up waiting till June, a year after the election should have been held, before she can finally become the president in her own right.